Well, this happened. So, uh, yeah. So I'm gonna show you what I have been seeing for the last couple of days. So I'm just gonna stick this down and act like it's staying put. But this is what you get. This is why I test this stuff out. So, this is it's all 3M, but it's flat, 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 flat. And as you can see here, the strip actually bows up. So yeah, you can see a gap between the spoiler and the trunk, but it bows up so it can go inside. It's all blurry, but it bows up so the strip can get inside of this, and it's the same way on both ends. So I really wish this wasn't so blurry, but yeah, you can see straight through under the spoiler because it has to lift up to get into this. So I would call that a design flaw. uh Help y'all out a little bit. So yeah, I would call that a design flaw. So you end up with a weak point here where it's nothing touching the actual trunk, followed by just the stress of this being flat and then this lifting up. So eventually it's going to tug at this point where it is touching. So it's always going to be a lighter spot. And if you're keeping up with weather, we just had that Hurricane Ida, I think it's called, ended up just being a storm over here. So didn't quite hurricane here, but you know, car covered in leaves and junk, so it did storm pretty bad. So all of the storm or whatever, I guess, rain, water, wind, driving, got air and water all under this. So I was just working on the truck a second ago, popped the trunk to get some tools out, and in the process of me popping the trunk, I'm just gonna touch this, you know, to recreate what I saw. But pop the trunk, get some tools, and then I see this. Like, there we go. That's what I saw. So yeah, the 3M, I guess the setup with how this stuff lays down, good idea, not quite the best execution. As you can see there, the height difference between this part and this part. So you know, it's bound to be a gap in the 3M. So my wires are hanging, but you're bound to have a gap the way that's set up. It's not really a way to get around it unless you stack a bunch of extra 3M in that gap, which you would need a lot to cover that gap. And you would still end up with a curved line. So the stress might still get to you. So good idea. The light worked real good, but not a long-term plan for me. If you want to do it, I would suggest just taking the end caps off and just dealing with it with no end cap. You would still have to, I'm sure, put some sort of sealant on the end just to make sure, because like a hole on the inside. So just to make sure no water gets in and messes up the actual light. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, I would suggest you take the end caps off on both ends and go with no end caps. So, and these end pieces of 3M, they stuck pretty good, but the middle part came smooth off. And you know, the car was cleaned off, alcohol down, so it's not like the car was dirty. But yeah, live and you learn.